Would you like to share a cab?
That would be fine.
Where are you staying?
I'm at the Westin.
Well, so am I. Can I interest you in a nightcap?
I think that you could.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times side characters stole the show on The Big Bang Theory.
When he helped Chewie get home to his wife.
Chewie had a wife?
Her name's Mala.
Wow, it's impressive.
For this list, we'll be looking at times the long-running sitcom supporting cast gave us main character energy. What's your favourite Big Bang moment centering on a side character? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Meeting Mrs. Fowler, the second one. Although this wasn't the first time we'd met Mrs. Fowler, this was the occasion that left a long-lasting impression. This time around, she was played brilliantly by Kathy Bates. Mrs. Fowler blew into town for her daughter's wedding, uprooting everything in her path.
Oh, well, she's pretty busy the day before her wedding.
Too busy for her mother? She used to be such a devoted daughter. Now she's just waiting for me to die so she can get my china.
She's bold, brassy, and domineering, rarely letting her husband get a word in edgeways. It might have been Amy and Sheldon's big day, but she very nearly stole the show.
Amy, you never said you were in a school play.
Oh, no, at home. I'd never let her do a school play.
Mrs. Fowler was the perfect blend of fierce and funny, making us wonder why this version hadn't been introduced sooner. We were thrilled that her story arc lasted a couple more episodes.
Oh, look at us, 2 peas in a pod. Oh, speaking of vegetables, how about I start calling you Old Lady Green Beans?
Plus, watching her bond with Sheldon was a real treat. Number 9. Penny's family makes an impression. After meeting Penny's dad in season 4, we couldn't wait to meet the rest of her family. While we'd have to wait until season 10, it would all be worth it. Their dynamic is hysterical, and Penny's brother, Randall, is especially full of brilliant one-liners.
So how's the world of pharmaceuticals treating you?
Pretty good. Actually, just got assigned to much better territory.
See what happens when you work hard?
Hey, she just sells drugs. I had to make them.
They serve as the perfect contrast to Penny's in-laws. Fun, laid back, and even the more neurotic tendencies of Penny's mum, Susan, are a breath of fresh air compared to the Hofstadters. They only appear in one episode, but pack in so many laughs that we're still chuckling today.
And you wonder why this one turned out the way he did.
See what I've got to put up with.
What you've got to put up with? Why did you have to go to jail?
It's called getting caught, mother.
Still, it would have been nice to see them again. Also, whatever happened to Penny's sister, Lisa? Why wasn't she at the wedding?
Being your dad's the best thing ever happened to me.
What about Randall and Lisa?
They're okay.
We'll never know. Number 8. Beverly Hofstadter versus Mary Cooper. Over the seasons, we've enjoyed getting to know Leonard and Sheldon's mothers.
She's just a very sweet and God-fearing lady, and you have to be respectful of her beliefs.
Leonard, I'm an adult. I know how to conduct myself around people from different walks of life.
However, it's always been clear that they're about as similar as chalk and cheese. One is a cold, pragmatic academic, while the other is a warm, loving, and God-fearing Texan.
The Bible is to you?
No, I'm sorry, that was inappropriate. As a psychiatrist, I know how important people's superstitions can be to them.
Putting them together was a stroke of genius. It doesn't take long for them to clash over their vastly different beliefs, leading to one of the funniest arguments on the show.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means I can't believe we're having this conversation.
Well, do it some more, or maybe knock some sense into yourself.
Their reconciliation is equally hilarious, and we already couldn't wait until the next time they'd be in the same room.
I'm so glad that you and I were able to bury the hatchet.
Me too. And I respect your right to your beliefs.
And I will pray for you.
Although we imagine Mary leaving dinner with Beverly's ex during the next season probably didn't do too much to ease future tensions. Number 7. Will Wheaton on Fun with Flags. Sheldon's always had a somewhat Schrodinger's friendship with the Star Trek alum.
I came here to defeat Will Wheaton, the man who destroyed my dreams. But I can't defeat Will Wheaton, the man who loved his meemaw.
It all started with a bad childhood memory, but eventually Will makes it up to him. Now that they're firm friends, Sheldon asks Wheaton to guest star on Sheldon Cooper Presents Fun with Flags.
What's interesting about
Cut.
What was wrong with that?
It's called Fun with Flags. They're not at half-mast, nobody died. Let's try and keep it upbeat.
This memorable scene sees Will and Amy go head-to-head over creative differences. She accuses him of being downbeat, stiff, and overacting. Meanwhile, he throws shade at Amy's directorial abilities.
This is an exciting one. This is the flag of the United Federation of Planets.
Cut.
Problem, first-time director?
Like Sheldon, we feel caught in the middle. Are we Team Amy or Team Will? Who knows?
You're my girlfriend, and I don't want you to be upset. Then again, Will Wheaton's my friend, and I don't want him to be upset. This is a sticky wicket.
Still, this was one of the first times the show properly put this actor under the spotlight, and it only makes us want more. Number 6. Arthur Jeffries, Professor Proton brings the Force. Bob Newhart's first appearance as former children's entertainer Professor Proton was so remarkable that it earned the actor a Primetime Emmy Award. He would go on to be nominated twice more in 2014 and 2016.
Well, thank you guys. That means a lot.
Well, it's important you know how much you mean to us.
However, our favourite Arthur Jeffries moment is from Season 9, where he manifests as a Jedi to talk Sheldon through his big decisions. Newhart's classic deadpan humour is on point, whether he's getting his mind around Star Wars references or taking his lightsaber for a spin.
Those are the robes of the Jedi, the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy.
And they don't wear underwear.
Sure, it's a monumental episode for Sheldon and Amy, yet they're left vying for our attention thanks to Newhart's immeasurable wit.
How'd it go?
It was amazing.
This guest appearance is the Obi-Wan for us. Number 5. Zack and the Science Dudes. Penny's on-again, off-again boyfriend is a sweetheart, but he's not the brightest bulb.
One question. How can you be sure it won't blow up?
The laser?
The moon.
Still, he tries, whether that's asking thoughtful questions about the moon or talking science with the Science Dudes. In the latter, Zack tries to have an intellectual conversation with the guys, but they mercilessly mock him.
You know, I saw this great thing on the Discovery Channel. Turns out that if you kill a starfish, it'll just come back to life.
Was the starfish wearing boxer shorts? Because you might have been watching Nickelodeon.
His wild claims about starfish are far-fetched and seem fitting for a kids' TV show, but it's still incredibly funny. It takes Zack a while to realise that the others aren't actually laughing with him.
I don't get it.
A dolphin might.
Oh, I see. You guys are inferring that I'm stupid.
In this scene, he manages to make us giggle, capture our hearts, and break them. We love it anytime Zack shows up, but this occasion was exceptionally super. Number 4. Beverly Hofstadter gets drunk. Dr. Hofstadter is typically abrasive and stoic, so watching her let loose is always a sight to behold. We first saw it when she threw caution to the wind to karaoke with Sheldon in Season 2.
Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight.
Baby, hold tight. Or any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it.
However, nothing beats when she got drunk with Penny and showed us a side to her we didn't even think existed. Bev wonders why Leonard hid his relationship with Penny from her, so the pair stumble into apartment 4A to confront him.
You're in trouble.
Why didn't you tell me you were tapping my homegirl?
Who knew that alcohol would bring out Beverly's maternal side? And that's not even the craziest part of this scene. This marked Dr. Hofstadter's most unforgettable moment.
Agreed.
Agreed.
What the hell? Agreed.
However, her heart-melting reconciliation with Leonard in the final season is a close second. Number 3. Mary Cooper tours Hollywood. Mrs. Cooper is a sweet-natured, warm-hearted mother with a sassy streak, which gives us iconic lines like,
It happened because I was kissing another woman, and it made me realize I wanted to be with Amy.
More than one woman was interested in you? I might have prayed a little too hard.
She's visited Sheldon several times, but none had us laughing harder than her tour of Hollywood's churches. It's not exactly the fun day out everyone imagined, but we sure thought it was hilarious.
And let's put a little church in this church.
Oh, I'm not sure we should.
It's easy. I'll show you how. Lord, Mary Cooper here, coming to you from Gomorrah, California.
Mary takes the opportunity to talk to the big guy upstairs and thank him for her sweet yet challenging son. She then gets everyone else involved but tags her own hysterically wry comments on the end of each of their prayers.
She also goes a little overboard on the love thy neighbor. Could probably use that chat you had with Mary Magdalene. Leonard, you're up. Wasserman, you're on deck.
We're almost surprised that she couldn't convince Sheldon to join them. As we later learn, Mary Cooper always gets what she wants.
Oh, Mrs. Cooper, it smells so good.
You take notes, darling. The real way to get a man is with melted cheese and cream of mushroom soup. He'll die at 50, but his love will be true.
Number 2. Stuart shows up Mark Hamill. Stuart Bloom's fallen on plenty of hard times and isn't always a ray of sunshine.
I'm walking on sunshine!
However, when officiant Mark Hamill is tasked with stalling Amy and Sheldon's wedding, Stuart really comes into his own. Howard suggests that the Luke Skywalker actor does a Star Wars Q&A, but we soon learn he's not the franchise's biggest aficionado.
I don't remember ever being on a Wookiee home planet.
Actually, Luke was on the Wookiee home planet Kashyyyk in the holiday special when he helped Chewie get home to his wife.
Instead, Stuart flaunts his expertise, becoming increasingly confident as he realizes his effect on Denise. We could bring up countless Stuart moments, but this one was special as it marked a turning point for the character.
I mean, the HAVW A5 turbo tank has metal gripping wheels, but I wouldn't call them tires.
You are so hot.
Plus, after all these years, we're just happy to see him happy. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Barry Kripke pranked Sheldon. Sure, it was mean, but admit it, you laughed.
Or interfering, if you will, is the existence of multiple. I myself led an expedition to the Arctic Circle in search of said particles. Cricky, I found the nozzle. I'm going to kill you.
Bert Kibler gets a crush. At least Bert wouldn't take Amy for granite. It's just how he rolls.
You know what, geologists and Bon Jovi have in common? You're both into rock? Yeah.
Mike Rostenkowski shares some advice. Howard and his father-in-law didn't always see eye to eye, but this scene was out of this world.
It's gonna be okay, son.
You really think so?
Of course. A pretty girl like Bernadette, she'll find a new guy.
Video chats with Mr. and Mrs. Koothrappali. So many funny quips, misunderstandings, and insults.
Matchmaking. Very smart move, son. Much better than marrying for love.
Leslie Winkle's rivalry with Sheldon. A strong, intelligent, and funny character who never stopped challenging Sheldon.
There are no incorrect equations on my board.
Oh, that is so...
I'm sorry, I gotta run. If you come up with an adjective, text me.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The irreplaceable Mrs. Wolwitz. Even though we never saw all of her, Howard's mum was a larger-than-life staple of the show. She's loud and overbearing, but has a huge heart and loves her son more than anything.
I can hear you without the phone!
Don't be snippy. I'm just excited to talk to my baby.
Her voice alone could steal any scene and have us doubled over with laughter. She's impressed us with her Wheel of Fortune skills, cracked us up with her badly timed quips anytime Howard's entertaining, and who doesn't still yell this when their phone rings?
I hear the phone!
Well, who's calling at this ungodly hour?
I don't know!
Well, ask them why they're calling at this ungodly hour!
She even made Howard's trip to space all the funnier, and no doubt gave NASA employees a good chuckle.
Please, everyone from NASA is listening to this phone call.
Good. They should know what a horrible son you are.
Okay, Ma. Great talking to you. Gotta go!
We were gutted to lose actress Carol Ann Susie and her incomparable talent. No supporting character had a more main cast energy than Debbie Wolwitz.
To Mrs. Wolowitz, loving mother, to all of us.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.